Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is No Shot, and welcome to the channel. So this past weekend, I went to a case tournament, ended up getting top 8. Then on Thursday, I went undefeated, and also on Saturday, I won a trophy tournament. So this is a different take on Voiceless Voice. A lot of people are just playing like the regular builds with the hand traps, super polys, stuff like that. I wanted to take a different approach because I didn't fully like the hand trap version. I thought that it was kind of weak, but at the same time, it's really good. But I just wanted to play it differently because I was having a bit of trouble breaking people's boards if I ended up going second, or sometimes they would hand trap me to death and I just didn't have a play after that. So I wanted to do something completely different, and it ended up working out for 2 tournaments. And I guess you could say it worked out for the case tournament, but I just didn't really like how it performed too well at the case tournament. I did end up breaking one time out of all the games that I played through 3 tournaments. I only bricked one time, and it was the game that I guess the game really didn't matter because I still topped either way, but to me it mattered. And then in the finals, well, not in the finals, but in the top 8, I lost to the mirror match due to my opponent opening hand traps, and I just didn't see a single hand trap whatsoever. So it is what it is. You can't win them all. But yeah, I'm overall impressed with how this deck works. There needs to be just a slight fine-tuning to it, and I'm already trying to work on that. But yeah, if you do enjoy this deck profile, remember to like and subscribe. Liking the video will help this reach other Voiceless Voice players out there, so look out for them as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. I will explain all the numbers of the certain cards I played and stuff like that. Also, this is 42 cards in the main. So obviously you got your 3 lows, you got your 3 Sephiras, your 1 old man. This is the brick. I hate drawing them, but you have to play them, so it is what it is. Moving on to the rituals, you got your 2 Skull Guardians, and I did something that a lot of people are not doing. I played 3 Cerebus, so the reason why I played 3 Cerebus over just 2 is because this card, I noticed when I was playing 2 of, it was the card that was saving me a lot on my turn 1. Even turn 2s, it was saving me so much. And then the games that I ended up struggling a lot was the fact that I, couldn't fight through an Imperm, or I couldn't fight through like the SP target or something like that. So I decided to bump it up to 3, and I didn't regret it whatsoever. This card would save me in so many situations. Imperms, like SP Little Knights, trap cards that targeted my cards. Every time I needed it, it was always there, and I don't regret playing 3. I think that this is the way that I'm going to move forward. Yeah, you could get away with just playing 2. I get it, because you could just recycle and stuff like that. But again, I want to see this card in my opening hand, and seeing 2 of these in your opening hand is not bad at all. Like, that happened to me so many times, and I just felt comfortable because it's like, cool, I can negate something, and I could probably summon the other one. I can shuffle the one in graveyard right back to the deck or whatnot. So it worked out great, and like I said, I don't think I would change that. Next is the 3 Diviners and the Trias Broken. And now for the part that was that shocked everyone, and they really wanted to see the deck profile after I played these cards, which were the 3M City and the 1 Happy. So I decided to play the Horus engine because, again, I noticed with this deck, it just struggled with breaking boards going second. I mean, the most you're going to do is summon a 4100 monster and then possibly, attack and then go into a Dyna and then maybe shuffle back another card. And then, like, that's basically, it really struggles with breaking boards unless you're playing like the super polys in the main, and because you're really banking on just having the hand traps to slow your opponent down, then your turn, set up your Omnigate and stuff, and then live, and then attack your game the following turn after that. Well, I wanted to end my games quicker, and on top of that, I just wanted to make sure that I can break boards pretty easily. And not only that, but also I pretty much discovered while I was playtesting it, going first turn, that basically makes your board just an instant win. There's really not much that a lot of the decks in the formats can even do against it. And I'll show you the board after the profile. The hand trap monsters were just the 3 nibs. Again, you're playing 42 cards. You can't really fit multiple hand traps in, so I chose nib over everything just because it's a light monster. So if worst comes to worst, I can still use it for a ritual summon with the ritual spell. And then moving on to the spells, you got your 3 of the barriers, the 2 ritual spells, and then the 3 King Sarks. And I did play 3 King Sarks, and the reason is because, like I said, when you see the inboard, you'll see why you want to play 3 King Sarks. You want to open up either an M City or a King Sark for sure. 3 preps, the 2 talents, and the 1-for-1 and a called body. 1-for-1 works really good if you're playing the Horus stuff, because if you have Happy, at least you can just get rid of, if you just so happen, which it happened a good number of times where I had Happy and 1-for-1. Sometimes you'll open, you know, multiple M cities or whatever, and you get the 1-for-1 for the second M city. You know, like, you have plays. So a lot of times I'll burn through cards, and they'll ash me or whatnot, and then I'll have 1-for-1 for the low. So it worked out good. I did not see my call by once in the case tournament, which I was kind of sad about. And then traps, you got your 1 trap card, and then these 3 imperms. This card, I'm debating on maybe upping it to 2, maybe like side-egging a second copy, because when you get rid of the, since we don't have the other card yet, once you get rid of this, like, it feels bad because you can't get it back, and it's just like, well, unless with Happy you can get it back. So this is another reason why I played the Horus stuff. So the extra deck got the Anima, the 2 Donum Windows or whatever it's called, the IP, Abelosa, and SP. So I don't think you're gonna see these 2 that commonly in a lot of builds, because a lot of people don't really know that there's a combo that you can work with these. Maybe they do, they just don't prefer it. But with this deck going first with the King Sarks and stuff, you can easily set up a IP. So and then you got your Super Poly targets. I do side deck Super Polys, but never came up. So you got your Synchros here. I think this one came up. You can make Baron a lot more in this build than a regular one, because obviously your Diviner's level 2s and your Horus monster level 8s. So you can just poop out a Baron very easily. And yeah, you can also go for a light and dark Chaos Angel, because you can have M City and Diviner, and then boom. So, and then the last 2 Xyz, Typhon, you know, you have to play him. He's not that great, but you have to play it. This guy, actually, believe it or not, this card was probably the MVP of the extra deck, believe it or not. This guy went in so many times. So a lot of times, when you get just hand trapped to death, the only play you have is literally just going into this. So when you get your M City and you're Happy out, and you make this, and then you mill 4, believe it or not, it saves you almost every time. Every time I milled 4, it was not a miss. I'm telling you, it kicked all my plays back into gear. I was able to just go into a Skull Guardian and get the low. Sometimes I was even able to go Skull Guardian low, get even an extra monster because I had the trap card, so flip something back, and then go into the IP and stuff. So yeah, Zombie Vampire came in clutch so many times. All right, and then for the side deck, got the 3 Ash. That's where the hand traps come into play. The 3 Ghost Spells, the 3 Super Polys, 3 Cosmics, and then 3 Summon Limits. Summon Limits cracked, probably the best performing card of the side. From the side deck. Cosmics, you have to play them. Ash Blossoms, I would want to main them, but like I said, it's just, you know, with the Horus stuff, you can't really, like, you have to pick and choose which hand traps you want to play. And like I said from before, Nib made sense because it's a light and it has a bunch of stars. You can't really use these for the spell ritual. Ghost Spells, obviously, for matchups. Super Polys was the worst card. I'm gonna cut these because they just didn't perform. And also, there was never really a time that Super Poly would come in clutch. You know, it only was good for the mirror match, really. But even in the mirror match, it's only good if you go first with Super Poly. If you go second with Super Poly, it doesn't do anything. You need to go first with it. And I just never saw it. And against other matchups, I didn't need it. So I think Super Poly is going to be 100% cuttable. And the good thing about cutting that out is that it does free up the extra deck. So you can play more stuff like the Stardust Axel, maybe even more rank 8s if you want to. But yeah. So your infield, your inboard, if you were going first, will look like this. So you have the low out, you have your Skull Guardian, you'll have your Happy, you'll have the Barrier, you have the King Sark, you'll have your IP, and then your hand will consist of, oh, sorry, wrong one. Your hand will normally consist of the Serratus. So this board, as of right now, is, well, let me put that there. This board, as of right now, is probably an instant win against almost every deck in the meta right now. And the reason is because you have just way too many aggro cards that your opponent has to worry about. So, you know, first off, they can't clear anything off of your field without getting rid of the happy first. Because if they get rid of anything else, it just triggers the happy, and then you just get to add back either hand traps or follow-up. You can add back this Saphira that was banished back to your hand, so that's why you don't even need to search for another Saphira, because you can just get it back with happy if they remove something. On top of that, if you use happy's effect, you can just go into IP. If they have an imperm or something like that, because this happens so many times where they say imperm target Masquerena, I'm just like, hey, cool, Serratus from hand. So they can't target the Masquerena, they can't target the happy, those are shut off from them. They can't just Dark Hole because, you know, like, you don't even care if they Dark Hole because the happy would stay. These would go away, which is fine because you'll have the ritual spell in the graveyard to banish or summon out another Skull Guardian, to summon out your low again to get the trap card, and on top of that you get Happy's effect to add back 2 cards. You have the King Sark. It's just way too many cards that they have to get rid of. They can't target these guys. They can't attack into your IP. They can't attack into your Happy. They have to attack to this. So they have to get rid of Happy. They have to get rid of King Sark. They have to get rid of the Barrier. They have to get rid of your Skull Guardian and your IP all in one turn. And not that many decks that I can think of right now can do that unless they're playing something that contribute all your cards. Like, you know, if they're playing the Lava Golem, and if they're playing like Spear Mode. Other than that, every time I made this field, it was an instant win. I'm telling you, this field happened, my opponent would look at their hand and say, yeah, let's just go to next game, because you can't, just like really nothing you can do unless you have things that contribute everything on the field. If you don't, that's just you just can't do anything. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile, like I said, and there is a few things that I want to tweak. So definitely the Super Polys, I'm not going to play those. I'm going to take those out so then I can free up the extra deck here, so I can play 3 other cards other than the Super Poly stuff. And yeah, because I think if you free those up, you can definitely play the Stardust Axel and some rank 8s. And there's something else I want to try out as well. I don't want to give it away because there is another case tournament coming up, and I may or may not be playing this deck, but if I am playing it, I'm definitely be trying out some new sauce, and hopefully it works. So yeah, I will let you guys know how that goes, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.